Well, greetings everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Flights. I am Lazerbolt, your host, and tonight we're going to be taking off out of, this is a airport here in Hong Kong. It is not Hong Kong International, but it is a nice airport here in Hong Kong. We're going to fly out of here, and by the end of tonight's flight, we are going to be in the Philippines. So we're going to be in the north of it. Should be a good time. Along the way, we're going to visit Dongsha Island, which is just off the coast of the Philippines there, and should be a good time. We got a big group of people with us tonight, so that's a lot of fun. I like the different variety of aircraft and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we got a nice little group going on tonight. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing great.
Great. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. I'm ready for this one.
Happy Friday.
Were you able to get in? Oh, okay, I do see you now, Spliff. There you are. I don't see your aircraft, though, so it might be something I don't have that you're flying.
I'm just flying the default Mitsubishi.
Okay, I should see it. That's an airplane I've never actually flown, though, so maybe that's what it is. Since it streams all the data, maybe it never streamed my data in because I've never flown it. Who knows? It's complicated.
Yeah, Microsoft's weird these days.
Did you say back to a Cessna?
I said Microsoft is weird these days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, multiplayer is getting weird, too. It's just when it's working fine, all of a sudden it just starts not working fine. Like right now, I'd rather see you as a substitute of something instead of just nothing. I see your name tag.
I know, that's almost a bit frustrating.
Well, guys, we're going to be taking off out of here in about 2 minutes. So on this first leg, let's climb up to 8,000 feet. And like I said, our first airport is at a heading of 185, 280 miles away. That's going to be a small island of Dongsha. I landed there just to get a screenshot for the thumbnail, and it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool place. It's not super huge, though, so this ought to be fun. The runway itself ain't that bad. I think the runway is, I don't know, it's plenty big enough for us. It's about 4,000 feet, so we're fine. But there's not a whole lot of room for everybody to be parking, so we're gonna have to bunch up at the end of the runway, and it'll be a good time. There's so much to this Dirty 30. I always feel like I'm missing something. What am I forgetting here? What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting my altitude. I know that. I said 8,000, correct?
That was a feeling. Yeah, he said 8,000. Yeah, there's more buttons in this C-17 than I remembered.
It's been a while since I've flown that. It's been 20 days, back when you'd have to download it. Pretty nice aircraft, though, a Globemaster.
Yeah, works fine, works great. I just took me several flights to refamiliarize myself with it and learn the avionics in it.
Just like we were saying earlier, it kind of reminds me of that A400, but it's got jets instead of props.
Yeah.
Was? Oder don't say Kratschnacks.
Yeah, our flight path is pretty much directly behind us, so once we get up in the air, let's take a left-hand turn to get out of here. That'll help keep us away from that mountain ridge. So left-hand turn leaving here, and we'll get right on course. I can't tell if Matthew's talking to us or someone else.
Oh, am I sending? Yeah, I'm talking to my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's on.
It only cuts in for like a half a word. It cuts in. Well, guys and girls, it is 10 after the hour, and that's when we take off. Let's go ahead and get these birds in the air. 8,000 feet. Let's try to maintain 240 knots. That'll be our speed for the entire flight tonight. 240 at 8,000 on this first leg. And Lazerbolt is rolling. Let's go. This is going to be a nice little flight here. Look at all the aircraft we got. Okay, I see JW Spliff over there in Cessna Citation. That's a great choice. Love that aircraft.
Okay, now it should be better and push the truck.
Yeah, it wasn't the whole thing cutting through. There was just the occasional word. Okay, I got big problems with my airplane here. I do not know what is going on.
Yeah, you're going right instead of left.
I know, and I shut off my autopilot and everything, and I'm trying to do it by hand, and it's just, it almost flipped me over a second ago. I was having weird control issues on the ground when I was sitting on the ground. I kept noticing my my stick moving. My yoke would move up and down and sideways, and I'm not touching anything, but my yoke is moving all over the place. That's just what I need, is another strange issue that's hard to diagnose. I think I got her now, at least for the moment. Alright, let's try this again. Alrighty, as far as I can tell, I'm turning to 135, climbing to 8,000.
I love how all these ships down here don't even bother with the docks to unload their cargo. They just park on the shore.
I noticed it's the exact same ships that were there last week. Same names and everything. They didn't move far. There are some pretty cool looking buildings around here, though, I gotta say. It's a pretty high-tech looking place. And I think there's far too many ships in this harbor for reality. Alright, I see Mr. Newbie's name down there. I don't quite know if I can see his airplane yet, but I can see him. Same thing with Spliff. Good deal. Got a ship called Piano Land that looks like it's like beached itself up on the runway.
See Crowfoot flying with us there.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, I was wondering about that. So our buddy Captain Hopper is wishing us a safe flight. Thanks, Cap. How you doing tonight, by the way, buddy? Captain Hopper. I haven't talked to you in a day or two. Alright, holding 8,000. Yeah, I think y'all are going to like this first stop. This little island's pretty nice.
Guess the autopilot doesn't work very well unless you put that little switch down there.
Well, guys, our first stop at Dongsha Island in pratas. Let's see here. We're going to be landing on runway 11. It's kind of pretty much straight in, so count on that. Runway 11. It is 4,900 feet of asphalt. Almost 5,000 feet of asphalt, so that's plenty for us, no problem. It's 3 feet elevation, as you would expect. There is no ILS on any of the approaches here, so we'll just come right in on runway 11. Count on runway 11.
Almost straight in, isn't it? Okay. That's
Yeah, it's pretty close.
You say you're heading for 185?
Let me check here. 135.
Oh, 135. I thought you said 185. That's why I'm going to the right.
Yeah, we should be. Basically, I set a course to the final airport, and then I'm just following my flight plan towards that towards the island, because the island didn't show up in my database for this aircraft, so I couldn't do it that way. But it's not that hard to find. I know it's, you know, when we're about 300 miles from our final destination, we should see that airport. Yeah, here we go. Got Matu up here in that awesome 404. Actually, the A400, I should say. So, Matu, did you say that you just got back from skiing, or are you getting ready to go skiing? Or both?
Not this weekend. I will skip this weekend because it's super warm up here in Canada. But I was skiing last weekend, and I will be skiing next weekend.
Right on.
More important, in 3 weeks I will fly to Japan to ski. That's the important part.
Ski trip to Japan. That just sounds wonderful, actually. Beautiful, I bet.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, Captain Hop says he's fine. How am I? Well, I'm doing just fine myself, buddy. It's Friday, so that's about as good as you can get around here. We got Kubi Montana also saying ho. Hey, Kubi. Good to see you every week. Checking in. I'm going to turn left here just a few degrees so we can be a little bit more lined up with that island. How about 131 degrees? 131 heading. Yeah, there's our buddy Crowfoot hanging out with you over there, Wingnut. I'm going to change my time of day here. I hope that don't screw anything up. I wanted to leave at about 7 in the morning. It's really nice at 7 a.m. here. There we go, 7:14 a.m. Beautiful. So we got a disc man back there too. I wonder if he's flying with us. That'd be cool. turn off my taxi lights and all that stuff. I don't need those while I'm flying. Could use those running lights though. Those are nice looking. I like that. Got that really soothing kind of a baby blue color to them, pastel sort of color. It's nice. Yeah, there we go. The formation lights they got on this. So Bob, what made you choose that Globemaster?
I just wanted to see us do something different because I knew it would show up in the sim with us, with you guys, because it was default, and I hadn't flown it in so long. So I tried it out a few times and got to working with it till I learned, finally understood the avionics in it, and I could do an ILS approach with it. So well,
Nice.
it's been
Yeah, it
kind
is
of cool to fly with you tonight with it.
It was a nice aircraft, that's for sure.
Yeah, I will say on the record that the C-130 is still my favorite. But I just wanted to do something with this one.
So I just saw a name we haven't seen in a minute or two around here, Medlife Rex. There he is. Hey Medlife, how you doing? Midlife, I should say. Yeah, I would have to say that the only thing that I'm not crazy about with this Dirty 30 is it really hits your frames hard. You get a few of them in the same area, and it really starts chunking the frames. And the only thing I don't like about the Captain Sim C-130 is it's hard to see in multiplayer. So that's kind of crappy right there. You got to jump through some bells and whistles just to make it appear in multiplayer for everybody else. Which is a shame because it's a great airplane.
Yeah.
My big hope is, since this Dirty 30 is not even in full release just yet, that before it is in full release, they're going to optimize it a little bit more and make the frames not so heavy. That's usually like the last step, you know what I mean? Once they got everything in place and they don't need to worry about breaking anything, then they can start cleaning it up.
Yeah.
According to my math, we got about 99 miles, maybe just over 99 miles, till we get to that airport. At least at 99 miles, that's when I'm going to start descending. Say, Longhorn, did you get an email like I did where Starlink emailed me and said that my $50 a month plan that used to give me 50 gigs now gives me 100 gigs a month? So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a try because we're going camping the second week of February. So I was planning on just doing the unlimited data for the week, but well, shoot, if I can, my little test here anyway. I put it in the unlimited or the 50 gigabyte data, but it was like for just like the last 3 days of the month last month, and I went out and streamed like, I think I streamed eight movies, 8 2-hour movies, and then like 3 hours of football, and I only used maybe probably like 25 gigabytes. So it's like, well,
Yeah,
shoot,
that's
I
not
mean,
bad.
so because my TV in my trailer is only a 720p, so that helps there. So I'm not streaming 4K or anything. But it's like, well,
Right.
shoot, I might get the whole week out of it for that 100 gigabytes.
Yeah, you might.
Uh,
Yeah, with me, I
if
usually I save a lot of gigs just by I stream everything to my laptop. I watch everything on my laptop when I'm on the road. So I mean, I can get away with like 420. It still looks fine on my laptop. My eyes ain't even that good, so I could save a lot of bandwidth that way. But it's a little weird because, like I said, the way it used to be, it was 50 gig a month for $50, and for every gig over 50 you go, they charge you $1, which makes sense. $50, 50 gigs. You know, and then if you use 55 gigs, they charge you $55. That always made perfect sense to me. But now apparently they got rid of that. What they're doing now is you've got 100 gigs for $50, which is pretty good because I've never used 100 gigs, but I've always tried to conserve. You know, I've never had 100 gigs to use. And well, the thing is now, if you reach that full 100 gig, it just drops you down to the slow speed plan. So I mean, you can still use it. It's just fine. And I can't imagine using 100 gig. Like I said, I go camping for a week at a time, and usually 50 is just barely enough.
Yeah, well, you can actually switch it over to the unlimited data if you run out, and it'll be prorated. So if you're at the end of the month, it's not that much more. Like I looked into, like if I were to put it in the unlimited data right now, now, Grant, I think I was telling you a few weeks ago that the plan I'm on, since I've already got the residential plan, I get the data plan for half price. So it's only cost me $25 a month for the 100 gigabyte plan.
That's a good deal, man. $100 a month for, or $25 a month for 100 gig. That's a great deal.
Oh yeah, I mean, we're paying 120 a month right now for our residential plan on the house. So I figure, well, shoot for the 25, and if I end up, like if I'm at the end of the month and I decide I'm going to go ahead and switch it to the unlimited data, like I looked into it a couple days ago, if I did the unlimited data right now, it was going to cost me like $25-30 because it's halfway through the month. So that's what I'll end up doing. I'll just do the 25 gigabyte plan. Actually, it's prorated too, so I'll wait. We're leaving, I think, the 8th. So on the 8th, I'll just enable the 100 gigabyte plan. So it'll only cost me, instead of 25, it'll probably cost me like maybe $18 or so.
That's real good.
If we
It's
start
good
running
internet
out,
too.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been throwing it in my van for my daily drives and stuff now, just because half the place I go, there's no cell reception or anything, and I just tie out. I just leave it in the standby mode for the low data, and it works fine for streaming music and like looking up part numbers and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, like I said, I can't imagine using 100 gigs a month. I go camping. When I go camping, it's usually between 4 to 7 days. You know, the longest I'll go camping for is 7 days, and I never go twice a month. You know, I don't have that kind of money to go twice a month in the summer. So in the summertime, I'll go about once a month, and that's good enough.
We got a trip in February, and then in May, and then October. So we always do it at my wife's birthday, our anniversary, and then my birthday.
Right on. Look at all the cool airplanes gathering up over here. It's been a while since I had 6 aircraft in view at the same time.
It's all my fault for throwing everything off by being on my own line clear over here to your left.
I see. I don't even see you in the game here. I don't even see your name tag. I did earlier. Maybe you're in the cloud. Plus, it would help if I wasn't looking to the right.
Yeah, I see his name tag out there.
Okay, yeah, there you are, Waterman. Good deal.
Yeah, I kind of created my own flight plans, breaking yours into 2 separate ones, and then putting in the procedures. So I did basically a direct to the procedures for final. So
Right on.
I'm not diverting as much as you guys.
Just make sure you're coming in on runway 11 when we get there. That's pretty important. You'll see what I mean when you get there. what we're going to do is we're going to land on runway 11. It's plenty long enough. You don't need to worry about that. It's almost 5,000 feet, so that's plenty. But it's a very short, narrow kind of a strip of land we're on. It would be almost impossible to taxi back to the beginning of the runway. So what we're going to do is land and then taxi all the way to the end of the runway, and we'll take off from the reciprocal. So when you land, just everybody meet up down at the other end of the runway, and we'll watch everybody land, and then we'll take off from there. There is a little bit of a parking lot in the area I'm talking about, so we can kind of gather up in that parking lot, and it's going to be a tight squeeze. Beautiful island, though, I gotta say, it was real pretty. I'm almost sure that it is also part of the Philippines. Yeah, in about 65 miles, I'm going to drop her down to 2,500. I can see midlife going on just fine. I lost track of Spliffy. Yeah, tonight is one of those rare nights where we only have 2 legs to fly. That's just the way it worked out. We're flying out over the ocean. I wanted to get to the Philippines by the end of tonight, so just 2 legs. The second leg is the long one. So on that leg, we're going to climb way the hell up, maybe 18,000 feet or something, or higher. And that'll give us some good efficient fuel efficiency and some good ground speed. But our final destination of the evening also does not have an ILS, but it's a big runway. It's not hard to find. Yeah, Wingnut, I've been using that TAWS radar a lot, especially in this flight plan. It helps because, like I said, that one airport we're heading to does not exist in the database, but it shows up on the terrain map. So at least I can see it on the map.
Yeah, it's good for that. Or if you're flying over near mountains, it'll show up red, so you know to look forward.
Yeah. If it's red, you're not good. Go up. I did get a message from our buddy Travis. He's traveling right now in Europe. He does that quite often. I think he's got a little girl there. But I think Travis said that in the next day or two, including today, he's going to be on his way back to the States. So he said with any luck, he'll be able to fly with us next week. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but good to have him back in the group.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
coming up behind you.
Right
Keep an
on.
eye on y'all.
Yep, that Globemaster looks just like a. It looks a lot like a A400, but those big old jet engines on it. Plus, you got those winglets that the 400 doesn't have.
Yeah.
Yes, Flippy, I don't remember how long it's been since we've flown together. Have we even flown together in the new sim here? This 2024 version? I think he might be away from the mic at the moment. "41 miles, I'm going to drop her down." It'd be kind of cool if those tactical lights that you turn on, if that lit up the tips of your blades. Of course, that wouldn't be very tactical. That'd make it easy to see miles away.
Descending to 2500, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go down to before we land. I'm going to do that in about 30 miles or so.
Okay.
So I've got my VOR set to 107, which is the heading of the runway, the course heading. So at least I can see where the runway is going to be. I wonder what happened to our buddy Crow Air tonight. We haven't seen him yet. Yeah, one time, wasn't that Globemaster like the biggest aircraft or close to it? Am I thinking
Yeah,
of
the
something else?
C5 Galaxy was
Oh,
bigger.
okay. It's not the Globemaster, it's a Galaxy. Yeah, Super Galaxy.
Yep.
There's a big, yeah, that makes these things look small.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to somebody to build that one in the sim.
We had one when we were flying FSX. That was a long ass time ago, 15 years ago. But it was okay. Yeah, it was nice. I remember our buddy PR dude used to love to fly it just so he'd be twice as big as everybody. It wasn't default, of course, but back in FSX there was a lot of people just on their own making aircraft.
Yeah, I remember that. I even had a C-141 T-tail with a white and gray airplane. But, can't use that no more.
So right as I was launching the game today, I saw on Steam there was a, you know, they usually keep you updated on news. Said something about January 15th, blah blah blah, but I missed it. Anybody know what that's about? Is that the new update they're working on or something? I mean, just like news about it coming up.
Oh no, January 15th was the they're up just the regular updates. They're what do they call them? Oh, look, let's see what it said.
Bug fixes and whatnot.
Let's see. It is. Go back to the library. Oh, their weekly briefing. January 15th is the weekly briefing.
I see. They're just telling us what's in the future. Huh?
Yeah, I think they did announce Sim Update 5. I didn't look at the briefing yet, so I don't know if they put a date to it yet, or even what it's going to involve. But it still needs a lot. They're definitely coming a long ways. But
Well, I love how they're continually working on it. That's just good news right there.
oh yeah, I just laugh
I
at all
like.
the people that.
I love how
Laugh.
it's been profitable enough for them to keep working on it. You know what I mean? Because usually a flight sim is kind of a niche audience, and once they release it, that's pretty much what you got. You know. But yeah, this there's a lot of non-simmers getting into this, and then now they're simmers too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's,
What?
and for the longevity, as fortunate as it is, it's also important to buy from the not everything, but some parts from the marketplace, because that's how it keeps profitable, without selling us FIFA style a new version every year.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, honestly, I don't buy that many aircraft, and most of them that I do, I buy directly from the marketplace, just out of simplicity's sake, you know, just to keep it all together. You know, they update themselves, so they're right there all in the collection. I don't have to do nothing. But I do have this Dirty 30 that since it's in pre-release, it's not in the marketplace yet. It's the only one that I got off-site, and I'm assuming once they give it a full release, it'll be in the marketplace. It's a great little airplane. Alrighty, about 8 miles or so, I'm going to begin dropping her down. The weird thing about this island is, I don't know, if you've got a sun kind of where I am, where the sun's in front of you, it might be hard to even see the island. You got to be right on top of it, and it's like, oh, there it is. It's, yeah, it's not very big. It's just big enough for a runway. Bring her down. Looks like we got somebody up there landed already. Good deal.
Yeah, that's me.
Right on. Do you see what I mean about when you get down, taxi all the way to the end, and then that'll give us all room to just kind of chill there for a minute. And we're going to
Well,
take
that's
off
what I
to the
meant.
opposite. Yeah, we're going to take off the opposite direction.
Yeah, no, my flight sim completely locked up on me, so well, I'm almost there. I'm just gonna spawn in down there.
There you go. I had that happen to me today too. About 2 or 3 minutes before we flew tonight, my entire sim crashed on me. Crashed right to the desktop. Very weird. Doesn't do that very often, but it did it today.
Yeah, it didn't kick me out. It just froze my screen, and then I had no control. It just basically locked everything on my screen. I couldn't do anything, couldn't move, so I just went and hit stop in Steam to stop flight sim and just restarted it.
Right.
And here I am.
Were you able to actually still move your camera around? It's just your aircraft was kind of locked up?
Nope.
Okay.
Everything was locked up. The camera was frozen.
Oh, okay. Because I've had that in the Dirty 30. I think you're in the Dirty 30 today, too. I've definitely had that in the Dirty 30 where just the airplane itself locks up. You can't do anything to it. And you'll have to restart from that as well. Anyway, coming in to runway 11.
Yep, I see all your name tags. Put on a show.
I can see your name tag, but I can barely see that little island. It's just a tiny little thing.
Well, there is a Cessna 172 here. I don't know why they would put an airport on this island. There's a lot of little islands scattered all around it, though. But it's a cool looking place.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a nice little resort kind of place. They got a cool little building there.
I think I'm gonna go cruise around in the drone. Actually, there's a little town here, right behind the airport.
Yeah, pretty cool little place. Dongsha Island. When you really, really want to get away from it all.
Yeah, and we got some pretty big buildings. Look like a bunch of little houses. And a little harbor, actually, so it's not really a bunch of different islands. It's got like a little harbor where it's got the airport makes part of it, and then
Right, I think the island itself is kind of horseshoe shaped. It's got a bit of a, it's got a little, what do they call it, a lagoon in the middle, like in Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, that's I mean, not a harbor, but it's got and it's well protected because it's the land comes all the way around from both sides, but one little entry to get into it.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. You got your palm trees and everything. It's looks like a nice place to get away from it all.
Oh, actually, there is one little island off of this one, but it looks like all the land is underwater and just the trees are coming out of the water.
Like I said, when you get down, taxi all the way to the end of the runway. And there's a little bit of a parking area back there, and we can just wait for everybody to gather up. We'll take off one at a time. Actually, we could probably all fit on the runway. It takes us maybe 2,500 feet to take off in, and this is a 5,000 foot runway, so we got plenty of room. We can all line up just like normal, actually. Yeah, and as you guys are approaching the island, you'll notice that it is a kind of horseshoe shape. The runway is on the left leg of the horseshoe.
Oh, I hear the first plane coming in.
Yeah, I think you got watermen right on you.
Way high and way fast. We'll see if I slow down enough.
That plane
I think
is
it's got
loud.
it.
Yeah, it's 5,000 feet, but you better hit them brakes.
Looked like you knew what you were doing.
What are you in today, Waterman? Are you in that C-130H?
I am, and I got my
Captain?
reversers all set up, so they worked really
Excellent.
well for this landing.
I love that C-130H. The only reason I don't like the C-130J as much as that is because the C-130J you can't see in multiplayer. They didn't make a 2020 version of that particular aircraft.
I thought they did when I was looking at it.
Well, maybe they did. Maybe they did. But I just know the C-130H, I can make that visible real easy like. But I don't know. Maybe I didn't mess with the J long enough. Sure is a nice aircraft, though. I like that. I wish they would make it so you could see it. It's like, has nobody mentioned to them that the multiplayer wrecks their airplane? Aren't they concerned about that? But it is Captain Sim we're talking about. Yeah, Captain Sim.
Exactly.
They like to release something and then that's it. They don't touch it again after they release it. That's a shame.
Well, I think when you're referring to them as they, I think it's really he, and he's doing it from his garage.
Okay, so he is a busy guy.
Yeah. He's not like a big company or anything. He does it and.
Well, if he happens to be watching the stream, dude, fix your airplane.
Yeah, too. I mean, you give them plenty of publicity for it.
Tell you what, it's what we like most around here. My apologies to Midlife Rex. We might be coming in at roughly the same time, but we'll be fine. I'm going to slow to 130.
Well, I'm going to say the same to you, Laser, because I saw you below me, but I don't think I can slow down.
Right on. I all of a sudden got kicked way up in the air. Bring her down. Come on. I got the stick full forward and it won't come down. Oh boy, this is going to be embarrassing. Of course, I should go around, but I'm not.
Go around.
I should.
I had to circle myself. I came in too wide too hard. Right behind Matthew.
Alright, I'm going around. Jeez, oh Pete, how embarrassing. I was all set up perfectly, and as soon as I undid my autopilot, it shot me up in the air about 200 feet.
You should have left it there for a second, Wingnut. I'm out right there, that spot in my drone. I was getting ready to get a snapshot of you.
No. Sorry, Wingnut. I almost hit you as we're both doing a go around. Oh no, what happened?
Knock went down.
Bob's down. Looks like Matu is just skimming the ground. No, that's not Matu. Who is that? Oh, that's Mr. Newbie. Yeah, I landed here at least 3 times a couple days ago, and I didn't have any problem. Of course, today, couldn't get her done.
I can't get control of her.
I see you back there just kind of like frisbeeing.
Yeah, every time I try to, I can't maintain altitude even after I get going again. It just wants to bank left or bank right and crash.
You do have your autopilot turned off?
Yeah.
Might not be able to make this turn quick enough here.
Yeah, you're having some trouble there, Wingnut.
Yeah, it's it don't want to fly anymore. Broke it.
Alright, let's try this again. Coming in, 2 mile final.
guess I need to go up into the outer atmosphere to get enough height to get the glide ratio or something.
Are you slewing up to see if that works?
Yeah.
It usually does it.
Yeah, usually. This one is not wanting to cooperate. It just falls right back down.
All right, finally down and safe. Where's Gilligan? Look at all these awesome aircraft down here.
Okay, I'm just in a flat spin, so I gave up.
Maybe you could just spawn in back at the airport here, and that'll
Yeah,
fix
that's
it.
what I'm gonna do.
So we got Crowfoot in this little tiny jet. I like that jet he's in. That's pretty cool. You want to spawn in on runway 29, that's the way we're going to be taking off. Just going to go ahead and get set up on this runway up here a little bit, and we'll get ready to take off here in a few minutes. Yeah, one thing about this, the Dirty 30, I don't know if it's like that for all the aircraft, but I've noticed it more in the Dirty 30 than other aircraft, that it remembers from session to session the way you leave things. Like the other day I was screwing around with something and I was messing, you know, that down there, that little knob that messes with your pitch control, surrounding that knob is another knob that messes with your lateral control, and I was kind of screwing with that a little bit. I noticed when I loaded into the airport today, my steering wheel was turned. Like, well, I couldn't straighten it out no matter what I did. It was turned, and it's because that knob was still set the way I was messing with it. And it's like, I'm not sure I like that. I'd like it to all go back to default, you know, because sometimes I'm screwing with stuff that I don't know what I'm screwing with, and you know, it ends up like that, where, you know, at least when I'm done screwing with it, go back to normal, right? But they don't. Alrighty, it looks like the whole gang is here. So Midlife switched over to a helicopter. How about that? Tell you what, buddy, it is going to be one long leg in a helicopter. That is not going to be fun for you. We got about 400 miles to go. Or 300 miles to go. 300 miles on a helicopter stick is just not my idea of a good time. Well, everybody's here. Let's go ahead and get these birds back up into the air. On this leg, we're climbing to 18,000. So go ahead and get set up for climbing to 18,000 at 240 knots. That should get us a real good ground speed. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and do this last leg of the airport here. Lazerbolt is spooling up and we're rolling.
that was a messy takeoff. At least I didn't die.
At least you're all right that way, huh?
Must have had a bad crosswind or something, because as soon as I started rolling down the runway, my plane wanted to go way to the right.
I'm just going to set my heading bug to go directly to the last airport. So technically my flight path is going to be to the right of me, but no biggie, I'm still heading straight towards the airport.
Hey, Longhorn, are you turning with us, or are you headed back to the other direction?
I'm turning.
Okay, I couldn't see you as far away. It looked like you kept going further.
Yeah, the only thing we're not going to have tonight is we usually do our penultimate stop, take a 10-minute break. I don't know. We're going to be on autopilot for about an hour, so you'll have plenty of time to take a break if you need one. Not quite an hour, actually. It won't be that long at all. Long enough to take a break if you need it. Says Crowfoot's in an L-39 Albatross. Didn't know there was a jet called an Albatross. Only Albatross I know is that made by Grumman. Looks like a gigantic goose. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, the boat, the float plane, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's not very fast, but it's great.
That's fun to fly too. That Albatross is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like that. I like boat planes a lot. When we get down like near the Caribbean and stuff where there's a bunch of little islands, we'll probably switch to something like a goose, so we can just do a little island hopping, land in the water and stuff. Man, looking on the map is just great. Look at all the airplanes flying with us. I love it. Well, our final stop of the evening is going to be Romeo, Peter, Ukraine, Quebec. We'll just call it Vigan. And this is for sure in the Philippines. Very kind of the northern part of the Philippines. When we get there, we're going to be landing on runway 20. Count on runway 20. This one's only 4,000 feet of asphalt, but still plenty for what we need. No ILS, but we do have 4,000 feet. So count on runway 20. I'm going to set my course heading to a 198 degrees magnetic, and that way at least I can have a visual representation of what the runway looks like. So the runway's at a heading of 198. Oh, it's so beautiful with that nice blanket of clouds underneath you. Leveling out at 18,000. Nice barrel rolls, Crowfoot. Looking good. Crowfoot's like Maverick up here. He's going to take a snapshot of me. Say, Longhorn, last week you had some cool trivia. You got any more of that?
Nah, I was back to work. I wasn't watching as much TV.
All right on. Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. About, what was it, Gone in 60 Seconds? I didn't know that the one that I'm familiar with was a remake of something from the 70s, so that's cool.
Yeah, probably better. Well, definitely better done because of what 20 years, 30 years newer.
Right.
Both of them were good, though. I mean, you could definitely tell the 1974 version and the quality and stuff. I just thought it was quite impressive that they actually had a single 40-something minute car chase scene.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised I've never heard that Gone in 60 Seconds is a remake. That's something I'm usually on top of. That's cool. I need to go back and watch the original. So I'm still trying to figure out a bunch of stuff to watch before I lose Netflix. One of my Lions games was on Netflix about 3 weeks ago. So just to watch my Lions game, I signed up for a month of Netflix. And so now I got Netflix till the end of the month. And is there anything good on Netflix I should be watching? Anybody? Any suggestions? Even in the chat. I got one more week where I can access Netflix. Is there anything worth watching? And don't say Stranger Things. Not that I hate Stranger Things, but yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
I usually activate it about once a year, just so I can catch up on everything that I kind of wanted to see and didn't get around to, you know. But it doesn't take me longer than a couple weeks to watch everything on there that's any good. The one thing I did find worth watching, and it's pretty sad that this is the only thing worth watching that I found, was they got a really cool Devo documentary. You know the band Devo? They got a neat documentary on there right now about Devo. It's kind of cool. Even if you don't like Devo, it's a really good time to watch it. It's, I don't know, kind of oddly pertinent to a lot of stuff that's going on right now, and you wouldn't think so. But if you're familiar with Devo, you might think so, because yeah, people think they're just kind of a silly joke band, but that's really not the purpose of it. I'll tell you the best concert I ever went to, what the most craziest concert I ever went to was, get this, here was the 3 headlining acts in this order. It was Snoop Dogg came on first, and then Tool came on second, and then Devo came on and closed the show. Is that a crazy 3 acts to have together, or what? But it was cool.
Yeah, those three. I would never pair those 3 together.
And I would have never thought Devo was the closing act, you know. Hey, we got Craig up in here on the chat recommending the Lazarus Project. So it's a pretty cool take on the time looping stuff. I do like time looping stuff. I might have to check that out. I've heard of it. Like I said, I got like 1 week and it's going to go away, so I'm just looking for anything worth watching. Lazarus Project. Note. But yeah, it was apparently what happened is the headliner was supposed to be Tool. So it was supposed to be Devo, then Snoop Dogg, and then Tool was going to close the show. But the guys in Tool happened to be huge Devo fans. And so almost kind of like as a joke, they said, hey, Devo, why don't you be the closer tonight? You know, they're touring around. So it's like, just for this one night, you be the closer. And yeah, it'll be funny. It'll be a lark. Everybody will get a good laugh. And that's what they did. So Snoop Dogg came out and everybody loved it. And Tool came out and everybody loved it. And then Devo comes out and half the people left. It's like, what, are you kidding me? So since everybody left, I got a front row seat. I got right up front with Devo. They gave me one of their red hats. You know, they got them flower pot hats. You know, because there were so few people in the audience, they were just giving them out. So he gave me one. It was cool. And I've always been a big Devo fan since way back. I gotta say though, the one band that myself personally wasn't super looking forward to was Snoop Dogg. Just not my cup of tea, you know. I'm just not a big Snoop Dogg fan. Go figure. You know, the old guy from Michigan, not a big Snoop Dogg fan. But I gotta say, Snoop Dogg was cool as shit. He was the ultimately coolest person I've ever seen in my life. It was a great show. He was just so slick, so smooth. It was great.
It's always interesting how a live performance can totally change your opinion of a band.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely true. And it was one of them things too that I don't listen to that kind of music, but I was surprised at how much of it I knew. It's like, oh, really? This is him too? Oh, and so is this. Seems like every hip hop song that I've heard a snip of was him, you know. Well, you know, I mean, Snoop Dogg's always got a lot of radio play for a rap artist. Just over 200 miles to the Philippines. Yeah, I was looking on the map, and of course I'm trying to hit all the big major points like Manila and stuff like that. And yeah, like usual, it's going to take some zigzagging so we can make a decent flight plan out of it. It's a cool area though.
Been there once, but don't remember much about it. It's a long time ago.
Back in the day, that was when you were stationed in Japan, huh?
Yeah, I went to Clark Air Base. That's gone now. The airport's still there, but don't belong to the military anymore.
Right on. Got a Globe Master on me.
I'm coming up on you. I was coming up hot and heavy. I had to put the spoilers on just to slow down.
It's a good thing that thing has spoilers. I don't.
Yeah.
So Tail Dragger, Spliffy, you still around, buddy? I was kind of hoping he had his ears on. I had a question for him. You know, my big question is, yeah, I don't know if you guys know, but our Discord here and our website, the MS Flights, everything, is owned by a guy named Kalo. And to be honest, I haven't seen Kalo in years. I haven't seen him in 2 years anywhere. I haven't seen him on the website. I haven't seen him here in Discord. I haven't seen him anywhere. But he keeps paying for it, so I'll keep using it, you know what I mean? But it's just, it'd be nice to, you know, maybe Tail Dragger's been around a long time. Maybe he's heard from him. Yeah, I mean, you guys here that have been flying with us for like a long time, right? Almost over a year. Have any of you ever seen Kalo?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
I see his name on it, but I never heard from him or seen anything about it.
Yeah, he's the guy that owns all of this. And I always thought msflights.net is a great, that's a great, what is it, like a website to own. You know, it's just msflights.net. You know, doesn't have anything to do with Microsoft. It's just msflights.net. You would think just for that alone it would draw a lot of people.
It was originally with the, we started with the previous MS Flight product.
Right. Oh, that's right.
Everybody kind of met together and we kind of built everything, the community and such.
Right, he just put an S on the end of MS Flight.
Yeah. When that got shut down, everybody kind of moved over to FSX and then kind of changed it to stand for multiple simulators or something.
Yeah, multi-simulator flights.
Yeah.
Still though, it seems like that's a good, that'd be a good IP to own, just because, you know, it's so similar to Microsoft Flight Simulator, you know. Well, it was way back in the day when there was that game called Microsoft Flight. It was perfect for that. Like I said, we just added an S on the end of it, and then that IP was available. Anyway, so I'd like to talk to Kalo again. I haven't talked to him forever. Just to touch base on him, saying, hey man, you know, we're still kicking, we're doing it strong and having a good time, representing the community. Be nice if you stop by.
Yeah, him, like you mentioned, PR dude.
Yes.
Wingman Tingley.
Yes. Yeah, Wingman Tingley's been a while. You know who we occasionally see? I see his name all the time. It's always over there in Discord, but Nova Wing. Nova Wing's a great guy. I wish I'd see him again. But he does stop in here once in a while. It was maybe 6 months ago he dropped in for a minute.
I do still see Oz Flyer all over the flight sim community, but he never joins us anymore. He used to join us every week.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah. Wasn't that David? Aussie Flyer David?
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of people, really. I mean, just think about it. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, each flight would have 20 or 30 people. They were huge. We used to have moderators because it would get out of control. People would just like, it was hard to even talk.
Back in the MS Flights days, the built-in multiplayer was limited to, I think it was 16 people. So everybody would be trying to join, like Kalo's flight, and you'd only have that 16 people or whatever, and that was it. And if you didn't get in, you weren't in.
Right. We moved over to FSX, and that was pretty much unlimited. I think it started out as 100 people, and then it was just, there's no cap. We never had 100 people anyway. Do you know if some of the other communities that we were hanging out with back then are still around? Remember Pizza, that guy? Is he still doing it?
I have no idea. I mean, I was away for how many years?
True. But I just remember those guys, we used to do like community events together. We would both sponsor something. Their community would get together with our community, and we would all fly together, and it would be a hell of a night. There'd be a lot of airplanes around and a lot of good pilots. And yeah, I remember, I don't remember his site, I just remember his name was Pizza.
Yeah, there was a few cross-community flights. I do enjoy looking back on Wingman's YouTube channel. He has some of the old MS Flights videos.
Yeah, he like, especially when they first introduced that C-47 or whatever it was, C-45. That basically the Goonie Bird when they released it. We were all in on that, and yeah, we made some cool videos. I was hanging out in Hawaii doing tricks and stuff.
You could go to that one airport and change the weather just a certain way, and in the right plane you could just float.
Yeah, because the wind speeds were so high. Yeah.
At Upolu. Yeah. Well, you just sit there and we'd like try to land on top of the
on top of the hangar. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I never really got into that game too much, though. I flew it just because everybody in the community was flying it, and it was fun flying together. But I didn't like the game that much at all. It was pretty bonky. It was too arcadey and just right down to, have you ever seen a flight simulator before where you couldn't bring up a map and just drop down a waypoint so you know which way you're flying? It's like, hey, I want to go to that little island over there, and you drop down a waypoint and now you know where it is. You couldn't do that in that game. It was just simple stuff like that. It's just like, what is going on here? Why don't they want us to enjoy this? It was just so clunky.
There was lots of pros and cons to it for sure. I mean, you only had the Alaska and Hawaii. You had to pay for each of them.
Yeah.
It was, no third-party planes.
Yeah, there was very few planes to begin with.
And I think about some of the stuff, there was no turning off crash detection, so everybody had to behave.
Yes, and that's no fun when you're trying to run a community where, hey, everybody's welcome. You'd always get somebody who doesn't care, and they're just crashing into everybody on purpose. And in that game, it sucked because it's like you'd have to restart the entire thing, which would take a while because it was Windows Vista. It would take a while to reset everything and get back up and running, Yeah, it wasn't a very good flight simulator, but it did get this community together. That is the reason why we're all here. That was the whole reason why we got together and formed a website. Back then we weren't using Discord. Discord didn't exist. We were using TeamSpeak, which was awful. That is the I don't miss the TeamSpeak days one bit. But oddly enough, the reason why the community
was pretty bad too.
The reason why the community split and the reason why most people don't fly with us anymore was back in that day when Discord first became a thing. Kalo was like, I think we're going to move off of TeamSpeak and we're going to go to Discord. And there was a huge population of the community that didn't want that. In particular, what was the guy, Warhawk? he was just like so vocally against it, just fuck it. And he was mean about it. He's like, I'm never coming around here again. I'm going to take everybody with me I can. We're not ever going to use, Discord. Discord's going to fail in a week, and TeamSpeak is the way to go. And TeamSpeak sucked, man. It was so hard to moderate everything. It was terrible. And within a month, we're on Discord going, this is the best thing that ever happened. Discord is amazing. But we lost half the community because we went to Discord. And now, what's TeamSpeak doing? I don't even think TeamSpeak exists anymore. I mean, it probably exists, but who the hell uses it? It's worthless. But it's like all those people that left because we moved over to Discord, very few of them came back.
I was one of the complainers because doing push to talk in Discord when you have multiple controllers sucks. Discord does not handle multiple controllers. It treats every button one as exactly the same.
Right, that is true. And still, though, I think Hog Dog's kind of one of those two. Hog Dog stopped coming around right about that time. He's still in Discord every day. I see him in Discord all the time. I see Warhawk over there, too. Warhawk and Hog Dog are both in Discord. I can see their name. But they don't fly with us anymore. So they like Discord now, but, it's just, come on, guys.
I see him in Xbox and I see him in Steam.
Alright, we've got midlife up here looking good. Something big. It's like maybe even a 747 or something like that.
Yep, that's what it said. 747 super tanker.
It was a big one. You might have to use all of that reverse thrust to stop on this airport today. Our next airport, or our final airport of the evening, is only 4,000 feet, so that's almost 1,000 feet shorter than the one we just left. Which still, it's plenty good for us. We don't need more than 3,000, really.
Yeah, my wing caught a tree and flipped me upside down there at that last one. That's what got me in trouble. Yeah,
it's pretty narrow situation at that other one. Like I said, if we were to like taxi all the way back to the beginning of the runway, it would have almost been impossible. You couldn't do it without getting on the runway. Plus, there was no place to stage up.
I have to hit a button to get my throttles in the reverse thruster, and I think I missed a button. And when I throttled up to go reverse, it wasn't there. So I took my eyes off just long enough to hit that tree, and everything went bad at that point.
Whoops. That's why crash detection's off.
Well, even with it is turned off. Even with it off,
Yeah.
if you hit a tree or a building, it's gonna flip you.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's still a solid object, but it doesn't like say you crashed. You need to start over. It's like, yeah, I know I crashed. Don't force me to start over. I know I crashed. Yeah, as far as Wingman go, or not Wingman, but Nova Wing, I think he still has his channel going on. He's always had a rather successful flight sim channel where he does like a weekly update. I know I'm subscribed to him, but I haven't received any notifications in a while, so I don't know how often he still does stuff like that. But he had a pretty successful channel there for a while. He's one of the few people in the community I actually met up in real life. I know he's from Australia, but get this, he's from Australia, but he's dating a girl from Michigan. Of course, I live in Michigan, and there was this one time where he was just on vacation visiting this girl in Michigan, and they were just north of me. I mean, just like maybe 60 miles to the north of me. And when he got to town, he called me up and he said, "Hey, let's go have dinner, man. Come and meet us in Petoskey and we'll have dinner." And so I drove north and met the whole gang, and it was nice. It was real nice. That was, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe? Wasn't that long ago. I got pictures. Apparently what he's doing now is triathlons. That's where he met this gal. She also does triathlons, you know, where you run for a while, you swim for a while, and then you bike for a while. And you got to be in real good shape to do it. And Nova Wing's crushing it, man. Him and his girlfriend are just destroying it. Yep, you guys up here flying in formation are giving me some great thumbnails for next week. Still 127 out from Romeo Papa Eugene Golf. Got a decent 321 ground speed going though. That's pretty good.
The only thing about the C-17 autopilot is when I'm in heading mode, I can't stay right on you. It drifts left or right, and I have to keep switching back 1 degree this
Oh,
way
I
or
see.
that way.
Yeah, your
But if
1
I'm-
degree is slightly off from my 1 degree, so we can never quite be on the same degree.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, if I put it on, if I lock it on LNAV, it'll stay. It'll follow the flight path right
Yeah.
to the T.
Right, if I'm on the same flight path, we'll be together. Well, you're drifting to the right now. Let me go to the right a little bit and see if I can match your drift. That don't look too bad. I'm catching it. Hey, we might be in sync right now. Nope, now you're slowly drifting to the left.
My heading is 136. I don't know what yours is, but
Yeah, 136. Say, if anybody out there watching the stream is thinking about joining us, we would love to have you come join us. It'd be great. It's easy. All the information is in the description of the video on YouTube. And especially when we're flying these Hercules like this, a lot of people like to fly jets. So grab a jet and come join us in here. Like a little fighter jet kind of thing. Always looks really good with our aircraft. The C-130 looks really nice with an escort. It's great. So yeah, all the information on what we're flying and where we're flying to is in the description of the video. And when you're down there, click that like and subscribe button. That's a lot of fun. Everybody likes doing that. Your puppy loves it when you hit that like and subscribe button. You'll make your puppy happy. We're still 110 miles out, but remember we're at 18,000, so make sure you give yourself plenty of time to descend. We're roughly sea level at this next airport, so when it comes time to descend, I'm going to go back down to 2,500 like last time. So we got the big Bears game, Bears-Rams game coming up Sunday, I believe, Sunday evening. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to have the Los Angeles Rams come all the way to Chicago. And I tell you what, we have had some weather lately. These last 2 weeks, the weather's been a doozy. I hope Sunday it's like the biggest snowstorm they ever had. Also, Longhorn, I seen one of the commentators point out that it's a shame if you're a Cardinals fan, because I mean the Cardinals didn't make the playoffs. They lost their coach, and they're the only team in their division that didn't win a playoff game this year. The other 3 teams in your division all won a playoff game, and it's like, God, Lee, that sucks. I'd hate to be in that division. It's like everybody's good.
Oh yeah, I mean, San Francisco. Well, Seattle won the division, and then the Rams and San Francisco, they both finished with, I think it was 12-5 and 11-4.
Yeah,
so they
great
both
records.
got in as a wild card, but their record was much better than the teams they had to play.
Well, it sucks to see a team like the Panthers. They didn't even have a winning record, and they got a wild card game. It's like, come on, man. And then here we are in the divisions where everybody else is really good. Of course, I'm stuck in the division with my Lions. I'm in the same division as Green Bay and the all of a sudden awesome Bears. Usually I don't need to worry about the Bears, and all of a sudden the Bears are on fire. So, geez, a winning record is no longer good enough to make the playoffs. It used to be. In some divisions it is.
Well, yeah, all you have to do is win your division. And they keep talking about restructuring the playoff picture. So, yeah, you'll still win your division. You'll make the playoffs. But in the case of the Rams versus, I think was it the Panthers, whoever was they played in round 1. Well, the Rams had to go to Carolina to play them because Carolina won their division, but the Rams had I think they were 11 and...
Oh, yeah, a way better record. Way better.
Way better record. And same thing with San Francisco. They had a way better record. But because because Seattle basically they had like one more win, they won the division. So the other two clearly made it as a very, very logical wild card. But they should have been ranked, higher. They should have hosted a home game.
Mm-hmm.
It should be by your winning percentage.
Oh, absolutely.
Not whether you win the division.
And the Bears had a pretty decent record too, but not as good as them. And here it is, the Bears had 2 home games. That's awesome. And I'm not a huge Bears fan, but I'm rooting for the Bears now that my Lions are out. Go Bears. Represent the division. Let's go. It's just there's a lot of people around here pissed at the Bears. They're like, oh, screw the Bears. It's like, man, I mean, they're representing the NFC North. So go NFC North. Let's kill them all. Let's win this.
Yeah, well, that's the only time I root for any other team in the NFC West. So, and I've got basically no matter what, one of the NFC West teams is going to make it to the NFC Championship game.
Oh yeah.
It highly likely will be 2 NFC West teams in the championship game, which will then mean one NFC West team is going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's a tough division. I mean, our division is tough just because we're with Green Bay and they're always good. But this year tougher than normal because there's 2 teams that are really good, the Bears too. And we never have to worry about the Vikings all that much until all of a sudden one day we will. Well, I'm getting set up for dropping down to 2,500. I'm not going to drop down just yet, but right now I'm 84 miles out. When I'm about 60 miles out, I'm going to start dropping. I do think there's a good chance that next week I'm just going to, for the fun of it, I'm going to switch out of this Dirty 30 Hercules, and I'm going to be in the Captain Sim C-130H Hercules, just because I really like that aircraft. And yeah, this one is going to be the one of the future, but it still has some fixing up to do. I won't be in the J though, just I'll be in the H, but I'll be in the 2020 version, so at least everybody who has it will be able to see me. "15 miles till descent." So it won't be too awful long. Also, I'm going to swing out to the left a little here. That will help us line up for that runway. We're coming in runway 20. I just saw Crowfoot flash by my window. Alrighty, I'm going to slowly start descending down to 2,500. And here I go again. I try to roll that pitch knob forward just a little bit. And the first thing it does is it pulls back the stick. Jarringly pulls back the stick. Don't know why it does that. It's supposed to, if anything, push the stick forward, you know. And then I keep rolling it and keep rolling it. It eventually pushes it forward, but it's weird. I wish I could figure that out. Does yours do the same thing?
Yep, just shot me up to 19,000 feet.
Yeah, I don't understand why it does that. I mean, and I don't know. It's weird. But as long as I keep rolling it forward, it'll eventually tip down. It's a little scary when you're trying to go up. You know, here I'm only 1,000 feet off the ground and I'm trying to raise the pitch, and the first thing it does is it puts the nose down. It's like, what is that about? It could be a simple control issue. I don't know. Maybe I've got a conflict of controls happening, but I've checked everything I could think of and I could not figure it out.
No, I think it's just a bug in it because, you know, all of my controls are working just fine. But if I roll that little dial, if you roll it forward, that should be pushing the stick forward. But like I said, if you just roll it forward a little bit, then instead of going down, you go up.
Yeah, and not up by a little, up by a lot. It like yanks the stick back. Yeah, crazy. And it does the same thing the other way around. When the first time you try to roll it forward, it'll yank it the other way. It's a subtle thing, but it's pretty jarring when you're trying to, you know, fly smoothly. Well, I'm only about 50 out, so it's probably not too big of an important deal to go to the left just yet, but I'm going to start going to the left. And, of course, I've got my little arrow pointing at the airport, and I've got my VOR set to the course heading of the runway, so I can always tell when I'm lined right up with the runway, and that's when I'm going to turn back. So here we go. I'm going left. Yeah, I just saw that picture you popped in Discord, Bob. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a good shot, so I took one.
I haven't seen that cockpit in a long time, since 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the glass displays go, it's all pretty similar to C-130.
Yeah, it's similar. It's got the 4 HDD or heads down displays, and you can change them to whatever you want and wherever you want positions.
Oh, hey, Crowfoot, how you doing, buddy? Descending with me down here. That is a sharp-looking jet. No, it's just a tiny little thing, but that's pretty cool looking. Alrighty, only 35 out. You will notice this airport is right on the coast, but it is on the other coast, not the one we're approaching. We have to fly over land just a little bit. Actually, not much at all, but it's not right on the coast that we're going to appear at here in a minute. It's on the other, opposite coast. I don't know if you remember me saying last week that boy, oh boy, the bar downstairs is hopping. Not so much tonight. It sounds quiet as a mouse down there, like there's not a single customer. Of course, it got cold and nasty again. Last week was kind of warm. Everybody had spring fever.
Yeah, we've been 65 to almost 70 degrees for the last week now.
Really? How is that compared to normal?
About 15 degrees above normal. But then again, also we've had 18 inches of rain since the beginning of December.
Oof. We're coming down. It doesn't flood around there when you get that kind of rain?
No, well, there are places actually. I take it back, yeah, because the week of New Year's it rained like all week, and the sewers overflowed in a couple of the cities near the lake, so they're now on a water boil issue right now, and they're trying to clean up all the sewage that kind of like leached out into the fields
Right
and
on.
stuff now.
The treatment plant got overloaded.
Yeah, wound its way up into the rivers and stuff, which drains into our main lake here.
$25 out. Still not quite lined up at that runway, but another few miles. I'm going to turn left, actually turn right for turn for final here. It's going to be a few miles. I'm probably going to be at least 15 miles out before I do that. I'm always looking backwards, and it screws up my left and rights. Alrighty, we are getting close to lined up with that runway here. In another mile or so, I'm going to slowly start turning to the right, and we'll line right up. Alrighty, laser's turning final at 17 miles. I always love it when somebody can keep up with you when you're turning or descending. You know, it's like that's not easy. That takes a lot of work, man. You got to pay attention. And Crowfoot is right here on me. "15 out, have the runway in sight." There she is. Yeah, the only problem with... Nope, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't see you, but I see everybody else. They're all kind of turning in front of me. I'm about 10 miles out.
Do you see Crowfoot?
I see Wingnut, Longhorn, Midlife, Rex, Mr. Newbie.
Yeah, those people look like they're a little closer than we are, but not too much. Looks like they're just kind of orbiting around the airport right now. Or they haven't quite reached it yet. But they're, yeah, we're about 15 out. They might be 10. Okay, I better not forget to slow down here. Gonna have the same problem I had last time. Coming in right behind you, Waterman. We got at least a mile and a half, 2 miles separation.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
going
but
to
I might be in
this
the...
time.
I might come in between the two of you.
Roger that.
I'm only at like 120 knots right now, so I'm coming in nice and slow this time.
Yeah, we're dropping down to 130, and that should be fine. Oh, we got Matu going on here, right on. He was correct indeed. What's going to be your final approach speed, Matu?
130.
Roger that.
I'll pick up the pace a little bit.
Looks like you're almost there. So me and Matu are still about 3 miles out. Remember, this runway is smaller than that last one, which wasn't very big.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe I can park down here on the beach. My airplane's pretty big.
Got the same thing again. It's like I've got my stick fully forward, 100% forward, and it's not dropping my nose. What's going on here?
That's why I had to turn around, because it would not go down.
It's like I had the perfect approach going on, and all of a sudden it's just like I can't go down. Weird. Yeah, it's little stuff like that that they still need to clean up. This is a great aircraft, but that's the reason why it's not in full release yet. They're still testing it. It has weird stuff that it does, just odd stuff. And it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah, I was down to 130 knots at probably 1,500 feet, and stick was full forward, but it would not go down.
Yep, same. Oh, that was a beautiful landing from Crowfoot. Look at that. Somehow he managed to land that fighter jet at the same time I was landing, and he was right next to me the whole time. Impressive.
Yeah, looking good.
That was pretty cool. I wish I was looking at it. Well, if I was looking at him, I would have crashed.
I had a nice smooth landing this time. I got my reverse thrusters to work and stayed in the middle of the runway.
I missed a newbie coming down real good. That looked beautiful. Having trouble turning this damn thing. It's another issue I have. It's like my stick is kind of all or nothing. There are lots of points in my throttle that don't do anything. And then all of a sudden it moves to a spot where it gives me 100% throttle. There's no subtlety to it whatsoever. It's all or nothing. It's very weird. I don't like it. Another reason why I think I'm just going to fly that Hercules, the C-130H next week, because it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close.
Does that A400 have reverse thrust on it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to swing in front of you, Longhorn, to taxi down to the end of the runway. Looks like that's where the party's at.
Yeah, we all down here waiting on you, man. We're drinking hot chocolate and all kinds of good stuff.
This doesn't look like a hot chocolate kind of place.
Probably a coconut milk.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, true.
Yeah, hot chocolate out of a coconut. That actually sounds pretty good. Well, we made pretty good time. Look at that. 6 past the hour. We're all here. Good deal. I was trying to make it roughly 2 hours. I don't mind if we go over a little bit, but yeah, this was perfect timing. Next week, we're going to be back to a 3-leg flight plan, back to normal. This thing sure kicks up some dirt, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. You're kicking dirt in Longhorn's window there, it looks like.
Yeah, I picked up a couple new chips now.
You got a couple paint flakes that are coming off. This is going to be fun trying to do a UE in this thing. And that Captain Sim C-130H, man, you can just whip around like it's nothing. It taxis really nice on the ground.
Until your wing hits a tree. And
Until
then
your
you're
wing
stuck.
hits a tree. Yep, I'm getting close to doing that right now, if I'm not careful. Kubi, glad you stuck around to the very end, buddy. That's cool. Appreciate that. It tells us it was a nice stream with some nice landings. Yeah, our buddy Kubi. I still haven't mapped my reverse thrust on this. That would really help. It's just, I've got it mapped for every other aircraft, but it doesn't work on this one, of course.
I didn't have to. I used the one on the that little, I guess you call it a tablet over on the left side.
Yeah,
You
but
can set it up with that.
Right, you've got it mapped to your throttle. I don't want it mapped to my throttle. I don't want it to where...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you've got it mapped to where if you pull all the way back on the throttle, it activates it. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I want my all the way back on the throttle means no throttle. What I have for every other aircraft, it's a button. I think you mentioned that earlier. I've got a button where if I hold that button down and then move my throttle, that's reverse thrust. And it doesn't work on this aircraft, and I'm not going to set it up the other way.
Mine don't either. Like I was doing on the C-17, I don't have to hold the button down. I just push the button and then use the throttles, and it'll go into reverse. But I missed the button at that last airport, and that's why I ran off and hit a tree, and the rest was history. Camouflage bird looks good over there, Longhorn.
Yeah, I thought I would try a different paint scheme this time.
Is Kubi Montana saying he's sitting in the 747, meaning that that's actually midlife Rex? Maybe I'm reading that wrong.
Guys, he's in a firefighting or a tanker 747 right beside me, that red and white.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Kubi Montana's last message there. It says, sit him the 747, which I think might actually, he's trying to say sitting in the 747. And yeah, he says that it's him. Okay, I had no idea. There we go. Midlife Rex is our buddy Kubi Montana. Okay, nice. Well, nice to put that together.
Glad you got to fly with us, bud. Looks good, that 747.
Mm-hmm. That's a cool paint job, too. Alright, let's get this beast shut down. Yeah, this is a lot less frame intensive than that last place we landed. Last week we ended up in Hong Kong, and we had at least 3 of these big frame hog aircraft. And boy, I tell you, my frames were just trash last week. This not too bad today. And buddy Crowfoot brings her down perfect again. Yeah, I got Midlife Rex in that global super tanker.
I see you out walking around and your shoes untied.
My shoe?
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I can't see that well. Can you tell if my ramp and door is open on the C-17? I just hit open.
Let me see. I'd be surprised, but let me see. It probably shows up for you, but not me, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably so.
It's a hell of a nice aircraft, though. I always like that. I like how the company that makes this used to just give it away for free, and now it's part of the default package that you get in the game. And no, I don't see your ramp down, but it still looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Can you go inside of it?
Yeah, I can't walk up the ramp like your airplane, the Blackbird Sim. You can walk up inside it now if your ramp is down.
Yeah, I heard you say they fixed that, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I've got it set too is I can walk around even inside the cockpit, and I can walk all the way into the back into the cargo area. It's pretty cool.
I can get in the cargo area of this from inside the plane, and that's pretty neat. It's got the loadmaster station. It's got a bathroom, everything.
Really?
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, my airplane has a microwave.
Mine too.
We're trying to hide in the tall grass.
Oh, I thought you both were taking a dump.
Don't walk over there. I just took a dump.
What you be walking?
So what is going on around here? What's all this? Little community over here?
There's a lot of tall grass here, man. Better watch for snakes.
Oh, I bet you snakes are a problem around here.
Found the restaurant.
Ooh, what do they got?
Sticky rice and mangoes.
It won't let me get past the porch.
I'll be damned. It does say restaurant, doesn't it? Well, the door's wide open.
Try going through it. They had their invisibility cloak around the building.
This kind of reminds me of like an old west ghost town. I mean, without the palm trees and stuff.
Yeah. Not even a puppy dog running around or nothing.
No tumbleweeds. I wonder if this is a hotel. This looks like a hotel with all the different rooms. Sure, every room's got a door. Guess that would make it a motel. Well, I don't know. Motel involves motor cars, doesn't it?
Well, this looks like an antique shop or something.
It does too. I was just thinking, what is that supposed to be? Is that like a bunch of old stuff?
I have the time set to where it's the sun just set, and there's these windows that are like flickering and flashing.
Really? I wonder if that's supposed to be like TVs.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, here's another one of them restaurants. It's the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, like always, it's pretty cool. You can walk around, but there's usually hardly anything cool to see. I mean, not that this sucks. I actually like walking around seeing this kind of stuff, but there's not much to do. Of course, this ain't walking simulator.
No, I'm lost, man. I'm out here between some buildings, and I don't know where in the world I'm at now.
Must be a popular restaurant. I found a third one.
Really, it's a chain. But they're all within a mile of each other.
I was flying around doing ILS approaches with this C-17 yesterday, and I was flying around Saipan, and I found an abandoned radar site up on a mountain in Saipan.
Really?
The radar with the dish and everything, the buildings. So I switched over to a helicopter just to fly around the Saipan and the mountain areas, and that was pretty cool. It was an
That
abandoned
sounds
radar
cool.
site that they, yeah.
You know, it's a big world, and there's a lot of stuff to see, man. It's a huge world.
Yeah, I was surprised they modeled that in there.
Yeah.
I guess it was left over from World War II, and they modeled it right there in Saipan, and then the Tinian, where they had the B-29s for the atomic bomb. The runways are still there. They look abandoned.
Really?
You can still land on it though.
Right. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's so much to this game that is like that. Like I said, it's such a big world, and every once in a while I'm scratching my head going, I can't believe they modeled this. I can't believe this little
Yeah,
out of the way,
me
and
both.
it's obviously like it's not just an auto-generated piece of scenery. It's like something they made, you know. Very, very odd. I did hear a number of years ago, I haven't heard anything else about it, and it was only one guy talking about it, but they were saying that they heard that this was back in the 2020 days, that one of the reasons why Microsoft is interested in making the flight simulator in the first place is they are working really hard on getting a very high resolution map of the entire world. All of it. The entire surface of the planet, down to the finest detail they can get. And that's why they keep working on it. They keep adding points of interest, they keep adding new cities, they keep fine-tuning this, they keep, the mesh in this city isn't quite right, so they'll change the mesh to something else and then make it more proper. And one of the reasons why they do that is, like I said, they want to have a full version of the entire world right down to the smallest pebble, and every building is going to be modeled, and then they can license that out to game developers. If some game developer is like, yeah, we want to have a racing game in like downtown Monaco, they could be like, well, here you go. Here's the best high resolution map of that area that's ever been made. You can use that for your race courses and stuff. Or, somebody wants to have some kind of a military fighting game, but they want it to be in like, downtown, anywhere, downtown anywhere, and they've got that already ready to go, and they can license any of it out. I was like, well, that's actually sounds like a really good idea, and I like the sounds of that just because that's going to keep them working on it. That's, the prospect of future money is going to keep them working on that for a long time. Also, that raises the possibility that games could all be in the same world. Like, our airplane simulator could be in the same world as some other dude's train simulator. Could be in the same world as this guy's racing game. It could be in the same world as GTA 7, and that way it's all connected. And that's they're just thinking about the future, but that's why they're spending so much time mapping every little pebble in the world.
Well, check out Travis sent us a note and a picture. And I posted another one right below his.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's Travis over in New York in real life. That's cool. He's going to have to stay overnight in Atlanta. All right. But that is a dope-ass picture. Very cool. I mean, I love it that nowadays you really kind of have to squint to see, is that the game or is that real life?
Yeah.
That's real life, and that is beautiful, man. Look at that.
That's cool. I put one below his with my ramp and door open, and your Longhorns airplane in the background.
Oh, right on. I like how my man Travis picks a seat by the window right behind the flaps. That's my favorite seat, too. Let me see the wing. Let me see what the wing's doing. Oh yeah, it's a pretty empty cargo hold you got going on there though, but it looks nice.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I can. I could put vehicles. I can put a helicopter in there. Forgot about that.
Every time I see your screenshots, it reminds me I need to grab that thing you're doing where you can put colors on people's name tags. I like that. Instead of everybody's name is white and against the clouds, you can't see none of them. Well, everybody, that was a fantastic evening of flying around. Really enjoyed that. We're going to be right back at this airport again next week. This is where we're going to take off of, and we're going to enjoy more of the Philippines. We might be here for more than 1 week. Next week, we're also going to be in the relatively same aircrafts as in C-130s, A400s, jets. Learjets of any kind work really good. The Cessna Citation and Cessna Longitude are great choices. There's a lot of airplanes that are in this kind of a range, but that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to continue flying around the Philippines. So grab the game, grab the information, and meet us at this airport next Friday night, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.